What's up, guys? You know who it is. Marcus J. Jackson with another Live Life episode for you. All right. This is number 47, Domestic Violence and How to Identify Physical Abuse. Okay. There is an element. The title may make it seem self-explanatory. However, there is a physical element among us that has absolutely no idea whatsoever that they're being physically abused. All right. And I know that may seem, like, wow, it may be common sense, but it's really not. All right. There is actually an element that exists among us that they do not know. They've never experienced anything other than physical abuse. So therefore, they may deem it normal, if you will, or they may think that that's how relationships are supposed to go. Okay. And for you, if you are part of that element, I am here to tell you that relationships can function 100% better, 1,000% better than the way you are used to. All right. And I'm not saying that your relationship isn't functioning, but it can function a whole lot better. Right. It is not. I don't know very many relationships that actually serve people, and they are physical, mental, or or emotionally abusive. Okay. So I'm definitely going to dive into that tonight. This is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. All right. So let me make sure I put the resources up there for you, because I want you to have those. All right. I definitely want you to have these resources available to you. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-SAFE or 7233. 1-800-799-7233. All right. If you are in danger, please call 911 to get you some help. Right. Get you some help immediately. They have resources that you can tap into. They have shelters, safe places. Places that are deemed safe according to, the police department and the community that reaches out and helps women who have been involved in sexual abuse, sexual assault, as well as domestic violence. The organization that I support 110% is I Speak Foxy. Okay, it's an organization that caters to men, women, and children who've experienced sexual assault or sexual violence. Okay. And that also includes domestic violence, the domestic violence experience as well. So if that is something that you are having issues with, you need some healing, or you're at the stage where you need to heal from it, or if you need to escape it or whatever, reach out to the Facebook page, I Speak Foxy. Go to that page, and there is a wealth of information provided so that you can, do what's necessary to try and find you, a peaceful solution to what it is that you're going through. Okay. By all means. And the I Speak Foxy organization is putting on an event in April. I believe it's going to be April 25th through April 28th. And she is, I think she has scholarships available for women who cannot afford that particular, it's a very, very big event. It's going to be retreat style, and it's going to help women focus on themselves, focus on healing, focus on being the strongest version of themselves. It is a event of empowerment. She'll be discussing techniques on how to heal, things to do that so you can heal. It's a lot. So make sure you go to I Speak Foxy's Facebook page and tap into that information, and I guarantee you'll find something that can help you. And let me put this up here also. Copy. We are truly needed. All right. Thank you in advance. Okay. So yeah, definitely. I mean, we're asking for donations to help women in those situations, men, women, and children that are in those situations, and who truly need it. All right. There will be a cost associated with the upcoming retreat, but it is a very, very healing moment. Okay. It's a very, very empowering moment, and it's one that you will not want to miss. The one last year was amazing. It was a very, very educational experience for me. All right. So I really enjoyed it. So that's definitely something I would recommend that you would, hey, $1. If you can donate $1, we would be very, very grateful for that. This goes to help for shelter placement, to purchase those who needed toiletries and clothing, because a lot of times when we have women and children that are leaving this situation, or for men, or men that matter, when you're escaping this type of situation, you need toiletries and you need clothes. So if you could donate, whatever you could donate would be very, very grateful. We would be very grateful for that. All right. So, all right, just make sure I got that out of the way. The information is there also. And definitely put my suicide life resources on here also. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so that's everything. Okay. Okay, so that's all the resources I got on there. Definitely. All right, so, oh man, my eyes are watering. All right, so we'll get started here in just a second. We're going to identify some things that come with the physical abuse. All right, I'm going to get my tea real quick, so you might want to get a pen or paper or whatever you need so you can take note of this information, okay? All right, I'll be right back. All right. Okay. One moment, please. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Nose is running. Allergies kicking in. Okay. So let's begin. All right. So like I said, there is an element among us that exists that, they really have no idea that they're being abused. Okay. And if nobody ever tells them that, hey, this is a situation that's not as favorable. There are other situations that, try not to be as negative. There are situations that are better and that can serve you, right? So you don't necessarily have to remain in a relationship where you're being beat and physically abused in order to stay, or because you feel like there's nowhere else to go, or I don't know. There's a lot that goes with the whole physical abuse thing, but it's not something that you deserve. It's not your fault by no means. Should you be treated that way? All right. That's not what we signed up for. You didn't sign up here. You didn't sign up to. Well, hopefully, you didn't sign up to be to have that experience. But it's very wow. Once you become enlightened and you start to understand things on a more intricate level, it's almost hard to do, videos like this, because then, there's an element of overstanding of these are things that you signed up for. And just because you signed up for them doesn't mean that you don't have the capacity to overcome them, and a lot of people say, well, this is your life, well, Marcus, you said this is my life and I signed up for it, I may as well grin and bear it. Well, true enough, this is something that you signed up for, but you signing up for it and you overcoming it is two different things. You may have signed up to overcome it, right? You may have signed up to have a intervention video, to look at a video by a guy with a ball cap on, looking like a talking head on Facebook or YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you never know. So hopefully, I can be of help in this process, okay? So you may be experiencing physical abuse if your partner has done or repeatedly does these types of things, right? For example, like if they're pulling your hair, right? That's physical abuse, so not during sexual activity or anything like that. But, they're just randomly, pulling on your hair with the intent to intimidate, right? They may punch you, they may slap you, they may kick you, they may bite you, they may choke you, with the intent of intimidating you, right? Making you afraid and or forcing you to do something that you don't want to do. And you say no, and then the reaction is for them to choke you or kick you, right? That is not love, okay? That is not love. If someone chokes you, punches you, kicks you, pulls your hair, and like I said, I'm getting this information from thelifeline.org, and I put that in the comments. I'm sorry, the hotline, thehotline.org, right? It's a National Domestic Violence Hotline. They have a website, and it gives you all this great and wonderful information that you can tap into. But I definitely won't be holding you guys too long tonight, because it's close to 2 o'clock. So, I'll go through the information fairly quickly. But, definitely, I have my tea. I can't be without my tea. I'm gonna have to get a mug or something, and do something. Don't be trying to steal my stuff either. Where's my little spoon? I got my little stirrer right here. This is a steel, or metal chopstick. Like, I found this at Ross for I think these things were $1. And it was 4 of, a package of 6 of them, I think. Maybe 6 or 8. It's pretty cool. I like it. I use it as a coffee stirrer. But, anyway. Back to where I was. So, if they're forbidding you from eating or sleeping, right? This is a very, very big thing that I'm beginning to notice through research, that a lot of abusers and or people who are in the maybe the trafficking realm or the prostitution realm, a lot of them are forced. Okay, so if they or he or she, they're only allowing you to eat at certain times, that's physical abuse, guys. That is not, I'm not talking about a personal trainer, right? That's saying, you need to eat at certain times. And I'm not saying if your husband is saying, hey, let's go on a workout plan, and you are intermittent fasting or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that, so don't feel like you're being abused or anything like that if you've agreed to do these things, because I believe it or not, people we do have an element of people who think that way. But if they're forbidding you from eating or sleeping, right? Sleep deprivation and starvation are very, very common tactics used in the prisoner of war style of torture. All right, so sleep deprivation and starvation, that's what they use in the when they're torturing somebody. You watch TV, what that's like. For people to starve you, or they just feed you just a little bit, and it's to also make you dependent on them, for food. It's a very, very psychological game that is being played when somebody uses sleep deprivation and starvation to force you to do something that you don't want to do, or to make you do something. And I'm here to tell you that that's not a relationship it's not a very favorable situation to be in. All right. That's not some shit that you got to put up with. And if you didn't know, and now you know. And I'm not saying, hey, make your escape tonight. I'm not saying, end the relationship this very moment, right? It's going to take a little bit of strategic planning, okay? You're going to have to figure out a way to, to do this and stay alive at the same time. Because there's a great deal of people who are, they don't really have a plan per se on how to get these things done. So, they end up getting caught, or, the people or the owner catches them, and it becomes something very, 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 very dangerous. So, by all means, if you are able to get help, get help. Take your time, be very strategic in your planning, okay? Let me see. If they're hurting you with weapons, all right? And please let me remind you that I'm speaking in a intimidation, coercion, or forceful intention, right? I'm not talking about anything, sexual or anything that that does not involve them exerting this type of force over you. All right. So I'm not, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in general that if they're using any kind of weapons to hurt you, you definitely want to, you know, and this is not something that it's not something that you agree to. All right. And I say that because, like I said, there is an element out there that doesn't understand what this really means. All right, so to break it down, I have to cover the most of the basic areas that we would probably think that are common sense, but they're really not. If you are, if you're in a situation and you're being hurt with weapons, okay, that is probably not a favorable relationship to be in. All right, that's probably not something that you want to participate in or somewhere that you want to be. If this is true, please call 1-800-799-SAFE. All right, 1-800-799-7233. They also have a chat that you can tap into at thehotline.org. Okay, get you some help. All right, make a plan so you can heal. All right, and so you can conquer. All right, this is a temporary situation. It does not have to last forever. Excuse me. There's a great deal of us who commit suicide because we're being physically, emotionally, and mentally abused by someone, be it our spouse or someone that we're so-called working for. So just keep that in mind. All right. Weapons should not be used to hurt you. Weapons should be used to protect you. All right. Preventing you from calling the police or seeking medical attention. All right. If you're in a situation where you are not afforded medical attention and you're in a so-called relationship with someone, right? Whether it be a boyfriend, girlfriend, or what have you. Excuse me, let me drink some tea. Hot. Oh man. If you're in a situation where if you feel like you got to call the police and you can't, then it may be time to start making a plan. Start thinking of an exit strategy. Slowly but surely. Try to figure out a way to get to a point where you can heal. Get you a safe place to heal from it. Okay. Medical attention is definitely something. If you're in a position where you cannot have medical attention, or there is a human being keeping you from getting medical attention, that is a situation that is not favorable. You want to be able to receive medical attention. All right, no matter what's wrong with you. If you feel like you need medical attention, and you can't get it, that's a red flag, guys. Okay. If you're in a position where they're harming your children, yes, you're in a situation where you're being physically abused. Okay, this is an abusive situation. All right, and you need to get to a safe place so you can heal from that. All right, and start to become the strongest version of yourself by moving on. Healing from that and having a sense of accomplishment in doing so. All right, and abandoning you in unfamiliar places. Okay, if they left you right in an unfamiliar place, and they're supposed to be your boyfriend and or girlfriend or protector for that matter, You know, I don't know what they call it. I don't know if they call them pimps anymore or bosses or whatever. But you know, there is an element out there that handles women in this nature. They call it trafficking and human trafficking. So you definitely want to be mindful of these situations, okay? And also, you know, you want to keep, you know, especially our friends and people that are close to us, we want to, you know, we want to be looking out for these things. If you get phone calls from this friend all the time and she's way out in the middle of nowhere, or she's in the city and you're like, how did you get here? You know, and then you say, my boyfriend brought me out here and he dropped me off, you know, and he got mad and left me. And these things are happening a lot more often and frequent. Then, you know, your friend is probably involved in situations that she doesn't want to be in. All right. If you're hanging out with your friend, especially girls, especially women, and she has bite marks, you know, and choke marks around her neck, she's probably in a violent situation, in a sexual information that a sexual situation where she's forced or being coerced to perform sexually and things of that nature. So be mindful of that. Okay, there's a lot of that going on, and there's a lot. It's a lot going on. Let me drink my tea right quick. So for some of you that may be, you know, kind of, you know, stuck in a situation like this, there is help. There is help out there that can, you know, you can be helped. The situation is temporarily. Don't feel like there is nowhere for you to go. There's no escape or anything like that. You can be helped. You can heal from the situation. There are such thing as safe places. And I know when you're in that lifestyle, or you have someone that you're codependent on, it may be very hard to believe that you can go somewhere and be safe. You know, so, but there is a safe place for you to go. And there are safe places for you to go. You just have to tap into the resources that I provided for you. Make sure you hook up with, go to the I Speak Foxy page, join the I Speak Foxy group, and she posts different types of empowerment tools, you know, if you know what that means. All right, so that's a good resource. If they're driving recklessly or dangerously when you're in the car with them, you know, for the intent of intimidation, you know, not if they're trying to rush you to work, people, you know, because I know people, my husband, he drives crazy, but he's trying to get you to work on time. All right. All right. So I may tend to drive a little recklessly and or dangerously when I'm trying to get to work on time, you know, so keep that in mind. But yeah, like I said, all of this, all the things that I've listed is for the purposes of intimidation, and the intention is to do harm to you. Okay. And if you, and I'll take it even a step further. If you're doing these things, or these things are happening to you, and they're quote unquote not hurting you, right? But you think that you're doing this because you love this guy, or, you know, you love this girl, and what she's actually doing is pimping you. You know, she's making you go out and work for her, or he is going out and making you work for him, you know, and you're bringing him back all of the money. Then this is a situation that you may want to come out of. Okay. if you're looking for a way out of those types of situations, the Lifeline, the hotline.org is an excellent source of information. All right, thehotline.org. That number is 1-800-799-SAFE. Okay. All right. So if they're forcing you to use drugs or alcohol, especially if you've had a substance abuse problem in the past, okay, this is definitely a big deal, because if they know, you like to get high, they'll say, oh, well, they'll buy you something that you like, right? And just so you guys know, hold on one second. Just so you guys know, as men and women, if you have to indulge in drugs and or alcohol in order to be with your spouse or with your partner, that's probably not a situation you want to be in. Okay, it's probably not a relationship worth involving yourself in if you have to be high and or drunk to involve yourself with them. All right, that is a situation that that needs to change. That's a very, very unhealthy situation. So anything that threatens your health and overall well-being, you want to stay away from. All right. So, what else? Okay, cool. That was it. That was the end of the list. So, yeah. So, guys, definitely keep those things in mind. I'll just do a quick review. The physical abusive things, pulling your hair, punching you, slapping you, kicking you, biting you, choking you. They're trying to keep you from eating and sleeping. They use weapons on you to make them do, to threaten you or make you do what they want you to do. They prevent you from calling the police. They won't let you get medical attention. They threaten to harm your children, or they are harming your children, right? They take you places and they abandon you. That's a real big thing that goes on with trafficking. They abandon you in unfamiliar places. They get you in the car and they drive recklessly and dangerously with the intent to intimidate you. They force you to use drugs and or alcohol. All right. To do things to coerce you to do things that you wouldn't normally do. All right. So I'm going to leave you with that information, guys. And please, once again, we accept donations. I put the Cash App for I Speak Foxy in the comments. $1, because we're trying to actually do something, instead of talking about it. A lot of people do a whole lot of talking about trying to help this and trying to reach out here and trying to reach out there. And it's usually to uplift themselves, okay? But as a collective, if we come together and empower ourselves, show some unity within our own self at our most vulnerable points, right? Because when we're being abused and or treated bad in a relationship, it causes a ripple effect, and you go into it's like a cancer. It spreads on to the next person and the next family and the next person and the next family and the next person and the next family, until it becomes the norm to be beaten, kicked in order to be in a relationship. It becomes the norm in order to get drunk and high to be in a relationship. Then the values turn into, he really loves me because he gives me food and he buys me weed, or he gets me drunk. It's just a lot. And I think that we will go a long way if we just, if we donated just $1 to the I Speak Foxy Cash App. So that way we can continue to tap into those resources. We continue to make ourselves available. We continue to host events in order to empower healing, right, and conquer some of these situations that we're in, okay? Thank you for tuning in, guys. Live life to the fullest. Y'all take it easy, man, and try not to do too much. Peace. Done.